Okay, we're reading Lord Nrsingadev's appearance is coming in a couple of days, so we were asked to speak on the subject matter of Lord Nrsingadev. But anyway, some famous quotes. We can start with the Shrimad Bhagavatam's many famous verses. Prabhupada used to often read from the Bhagavatam, and he would speak on Prahlad Maharaj many times. And Kunti, praise the Queen Kunti, would also speak. Okay, this one is from the Shrimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, text number 30. Chapter Prahlad Maharaj, the saintly son of Hiranyakashipu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'll just read it, right? Because it's not on the board. Shri Prarata Uvacha Matirna Krishni Parata Svatova Mitopidyeta Griha Vratanam Andagopir Vashatam Tamishram Puna Punascha Vitacharanam. During the chewed verse, Prabhupada liked to always quote this. Prahlad Maharaj replied, because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress towards hellish condition and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclinations towards Krishna are never aroused, either by the instructions of others, by their own efforts, or a combination of both. In this purport, in this verse, the word Matirna Krishna refers to devotional service rendered to Krishna. So-called politicians, erudite scholars, and the philosophers who read Bhagavad Gita try to twist some meaning from it to suit their material purposes, and thus their misunderstandings of Krishna will not yield them any profit, because such politicians, philosophers, and scholars are interested in using Bhagavad Gita as a vehicle for adjusting things material for them. To them, constant thought of Krishna in Krishna consciousness is impossible. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Mama Vajananti, only through this service, devotional service, one can understand Krishna as he is. The so-called politicians and scholars think of Krishna as being factitious. The politicians say that Krishna is different from the Krishna depicted in the Bhagavad Gita, even though he accepts Krishna and Rama as the supreme. He thinks Rama and Krishna as impersonal because he has no service to Krishna. Prabhupada's referring, when he says the politician, he's either referring to usually Dr. Radha Krishna, who says, you don't have to surrender to Krishna, but you surrender to the unborn, eternal within Krishna. However, the Prabhupada often quotes them. So he thinks of Rama and Krishna as impersonal because he has no idea of devotional service. In impersonal philosophy, it's all one, everything is one, so there's no question of savor. Service means two. I love you, you love me. There is service. But in personalism, they deny the highest principle of spiritual life, which is prem pumatapumam, to come to the point of loving God. This is the highest purpose in all revealed scriptures. But this Mayavad philosophy in person, it destroys that conception. It destroys one's bhakti. That's why devotee is very fearful about Mayavad philosophy. It's like Devaki was very fearful. Every time she saw Kamsa, here's Kamsa, he's come to kill my Krishna, my bhakti. Very scared. So Mayavad is Mayavad yohaya paradi. You keep long distance from Mayavad. Practically the whole world is like that. There's his only business. He has no idea of service to Krishna, thus his only business is punah punash charvitam charanam. Chewing the chewed again and again. Prabhupada gives the example of the sugar cane. You chew the sugar cane, you spit it out. Nobody goes and picks it up again because all the juice except some insects or something, but otherwise the juice is all gone, you chewed it. But it's like picking up the sugar cane, chewing it again, spitting it out. There's no taste there, there's no rus. So anyway, this is a famous verse. Prabhupada was quoting another famous verse, was Maya Shukaya. Everyone in this world is making programs for happiness. Shukaya. What kind of shuka? What kind of shukaya? What kind of happiness? Maya Shukaya, the happiness that comes from Maya, presenting her objects before everyone. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. This is Maya is presenting all these objects. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Coca-Cola know the philosophy. You go outside the main gate on one of the hotels there. It's a Coke sign, but it says only one word. A big board, but only one word. Enjoy. So they don't know the philosophy that people want to enjoy, so their products are for that. But what is that enjoyment? Chewing the chewed. And so Prahlad Maharaj, everyone is making a gigantic program for happiness that will never be. And it's a fact. What you're doing right now, you're making some kind of happiness, for a program for happiness. That will never be. Devotees also making a program for happiness, but their happiness is Krishna's happiness. They're making a program for Krishna's happiness. So that program is okay. Otherwise, Maya Shukaya. Prabhupada again always quoted this verse. Anyway, there was no board, so I thought we'd just read a little bit. Okay. Shringadev Bhagavan ki jai. So this form of Lord Nrsimhadev, very, very dear to Krishna. Krishna, he likes three forms very much. That's his original form, Govinda. And his form of Lord Ramachandra. And his form of Lord Nrsimhadev. With Krishna, he enjoys in strange ways. We can say not strange. But Krishna's pleasure, especially his pleasure with the gopis, is very, very uncommon. No, it's the most common actually in the material world, but the pastimes of Krishna Purnamasi is telling Vrinda Devi that this Radha and Krishna, they're having these conjugal pastimes, different meetings. They're not supposed to be doing this. In the front of the elders, they're trying to do everything secret. Young boy, girl, it should be secret. So they're not supposed to be doing it. And it is this fear of the elders. They're going to find out what we're doing, we're not supposed to be doing. The fear of the elders is called such a rasa there, that this is Krishna's, the one of his greatest pleasures, experiencing that he's doing something wrong, he shouldn't be there, and the elderly people are there. So they feel that fear that they're going to be found out and things like that. But this is, Purnamasi said, this creates such a blissful festival in their pastimes of meeting in separation, meeting in separation. So Krishna's very unusual pastime. This is the original form of Krishna with the flute. This is the original feature of Godhead. From this, the other features expand. So Ramchandra is not like an ordinary expansion. Like most of the avatars, they're coming through the medium of Kiradakshaya Vishnu. When Krishna, the original personality of Godhead, comes once in a day of Brahma, every 28th millennium, he doesn't come through the agency of Kiradakshaya Vishnu, he comes directly. He's the source of all the different incarnations. He's the source of Kiradakshaya Vishnu. Lord Ramchandra is something like that. He's also like directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada said in Bombay, he said, Lord Ramchandra, he could play the flute. He said, but he doesn't because Krishna does. But he could do. So Lord Ram, he sets a nice example for the whole world to follow, because most of the world is Grihastha. So Lord Ramachandra, he was married and he followed all those nice rituals, very, very perfect. He's the ideal man, the ideal personality of Godhead. Krishna, in some eyes, he doesn't look very ideal, but Ramchandra, he's the ideal personality to follow. And Lord Nrsimhadev also. I guess if you're going to want to experience some ghastly ras, and the lion is a pretty good form to take, right? Big fangs and claws, and so anyway, these forms are very, very dear to Krishna, these three forms. So Lord Nrsimhadev is one of those three forms. So Lord Nrsimhadev, for our society, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, he has an important role to play. He is our Ishtadeva of protection. Ishtadeva means our worshipful deity, our worshipful object. Our ultimate worshipful object is Radha Gopinath Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These are our worshipful, ultimate worshipful lords. But for protection, then Lord Nrsimhadev is our protective deity for our society, as Prabhupada established it. After every aratik around the world, they chant these prayers that Prabhupada established for. And Prabhupada said, we worship Lord Nrsimhadev for these three reasons: to protect the devotees, to protect the mission, and to protect the Guru. We're worshipping Lord Nrsimhadev. And we need protection in Kali Yuga, very strong. So, Prabhupada introduced the chanting of these three prayers, and so we can, as a protective deity, actually, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also established the deity of Nrsimhadev here at the Chaitanya Mat. You go to Chaitanya Mat, there's the Lakshmi Nrsimhadev. Apparently they were having some problems there, so Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur installed that deity. After that, they didn't have any major problems. And also there's a form of Lord Nrsimhadev in Goloka. Nanda Baba is worshipping Lord Nrsimhadev. Why does Nanda Baba worship Lord Nrsimhadev? Yes, to protect Krishna, of course. So to protect Krishna, Nanda Baba is son, so he's got the most powerful protector. So they worship Lord Nrsimhadev in Golok, someplace. Nanda Baba. Yeah, for the protection of Krishna. So it's parampara. Prabhupada didn't speculate we'll make it our protective deity, but that's going on in Golok, coming through the Parampara, Bhakti Siddhanta accepted. That deity, somebody bought a chain, a gold chain for the Lakshmi ji around the neck. Somebody took that chain, golden chain. They run over to Shrupganj. They were across the Jalangi from the Jogpit area. And there he's running away, and he looks round, see if anybody's coming. There's this cobra, snake, sharp. He's coming. Oh my! He starts running fast. This snake is also running fast. And he realizes, what am I going to do? I'm not going to get out of this one. It's a big cobra. So then he paid his Astanda Dandavat to the snake. He said, I'll take it back, I promise. And the snake, they went away and left him. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, we have another very famous Nrsimhadev here in Singapore. Deity has been there since Satya Yuga. Singapore is very old deity. And Lord Nrsimhadev, he came here to Navadvip Dham after he killed Hiranyakashipu. He came to rest. Take some rest. So he thought, I might as well take rest in Mayapur, it's the best place. So he come here to take rest. And he had his place here, and all the Devatas also come and built palaces here. There used to be 7 hills or something in that, and the Devatas would have their residences on there, and they would be with Lord Nrsimhadev while he stayed. I don't know how long he stayed. But there's a pastime with that deity also. There was a Prikram, Navadvip Prikram was going on, and one Mataji, I think she was from maybe Malaysia or somewhere out like that, and she couldn't get a child. So someone said, this Lord Nrsimhadev, if you pray, do some seva, he may be able to give. So she prayed to Lord Nrsimhadev, please give me a child, and I'll give you this puja. I'll do puja for you later. Anyway, she had a child, but then she forgot about it. She had promised Lord Nrsimhadev that she'll do some kind of worship for her. And anyway, after the boy was about 3 or 4 years old, then he kind of lost his hearing, he lost his sense of sight, he lost his sense of smell, he lost his sense of taste, and he started losing all of his senses, perceptions. And she was going around all different doctors, tantrics and everything like that. For quite a few years he was like that. And then somebody told her, did you ever do any puja? Did you ever promise any devata or something like that? That you'll give them something. And she, oh, I remember I did to Lord Nrsimhadev in Singapore. So then she came back to Singapore and she offered the pujas. And then after that, the boy became okay. Not only that, but his IQ was equal to for the few years he was out, not going to school, his IQ was exactly the same as the other boys of that age. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki. Okay. Lord Nrsimhadev, he came here to take rest. There's another common story. Actually, there's one guidebook, A Pilgrim's Guide to Navadvip. And he put the story that Lord Nrsimhadev came to Mayapur to wash his hands. After he killed Hiranyakashipu, there's all blood and everything. So he came to Mayapur to wash his hands, but actually doesn't say that in the Navadip Dham Mahatma. It says he came to take rest, but it was common saying, especially in the early days, that Lord Nrsimhadev came and washed his hands. Actually, that pastime took place in a Hovalam, famous Nrsimha place there. So he washed his hands there. Mayapur, he came and was sleeping. So there are red stones. The stones went red where he washed his hands in that pukur. Because of the blood of Lord Nrsimhadev, the stones went red. So people were taking those and worshipping them. The devotees also. About that time it was like a fashion. I think in Germany they were open that farm, Nrsimhadev farm, is it? In Germany. I can't remember the name of it. And during Harikesh Prabhu's time, they installed that deity, and it was very fired up temple. Europe was very fired up. So many books. And now they had the farm with Nrsimhadev, and it was so, and everybody was Nrsimha conscious because the new deity, the first one in ISKCON, I think it was. Everyone was fired up, and then everybody started to get shalagram shilas and Nrsimha shilas. Look, you see the hole and the chakras on the top and mouth. And then they started collecting all the Hovalam shilas. It became kind of a fad. And then Prabhupada, when he found out, he said, no, not necessary to worship these Hovalam shilas. He said they are tadiya. Tadiya means paraphernalia. You can consider it paraphernalia, the place where he to wash his hands, he said. Shnan, shtan, or whatever it will be. A place where he washed his hands. So Prabhupada says it's not necessary to worship, it's just tadiya. If you want, you can keep it by the altar or on the altar, but not necessary for worship. So, Dr. Vinod Thakur, he writes in the Navadip Bhavataranga that he goes to Nrsimhapoli, he's making prikram, and the Dharma is being revealed to him. He goes to Nrsimhapoli, rolling in the courtyard there, rolling in the dust. When you go to Nrsimhapoli, they've got a nice courtyard that they painted all marble and everything there. So now you can do it. Anyway, you roll in the courtyard, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur is rolling, begging forgiveness and protection from Lord Nrsimhadev. Then Lord Nrsimhadev actually appears to him there. He puts his lotus feet on his head. Who would like that? Puts his lotus feet. He said, you stay in Navadip Dham, my child, and you be happy. You worship Radha Krishna and always chant the holy names of the Lord, and by the mercy of my devotees, all your spiritual perfections will be. Lord Nrsimhadev didn't say by my mercy, he said by the mercy of my devotees. All of the obstacles. All the obstacles will become transcended. He didn't say finished. Transcended. It means they never stop. The obstacles never stop. But transcend means goes above the obstacles by the mercy of Lord Nrsimhadev's devotees. You can go above the obstacles. So the Lord Nrsimhadev here, we installed 1984 or 86, I think. 1986. 1986. So Lord Nrsimhadev come. Because we have been attacked by dacoits. Dacoit means bandit, not thief. thief would come very carefully at night time and he would steal things. But dacoit means we're here, and axes, breaking down the locks off the doors, bombs, handmade bombs, which explode on contact. You know, Bhakti Raghav Maharaj, one leg, he got hit by one of those bombs, blew his leg off. So brave. He was in the long building, and he was running to the temple and the lotus building. 30 armed dacoits, Raghav Pandit, another devotee, so brave, picking up stones. And who would do that? So brave, sacrifice their life. Anyway, they stole Srimati Radharani, the small one. They thought she's golden because she was so bright and shiny. So they're gold. And they contacted an astrologer, and the astrologer said, yes, gold is there. But the deities, they're made of Ashta Dhatu, or 8 types of metals. And they just put a little bit of token gold. Gold is one of the metals, so it's just a token. But the astrologer calculated there's gold, so they thought solid gold. Then that was their target. They took Radha, right? But we got her back after a few days. But anyway, very scary. I was in the deity room at that time also. Krishna saved me. There was a curtain, the backdrop, a whole backdrop like this hanging on the wall. And I hid behind that. I thought, I don't know what else to do. I'm not going to go out. I'm no He-Man. I'm not going to go out and face a band of 30 dacoits. So I stood behind the backdrop against the wall. It was about that far away from the altar, and they were walking backwards and forwards. My feet were sticking out there. But luckily it was dark. Otherwise, anyway, Lord Nrsimhadev protected me and saved me. Lord Madhava saved me there. Anyway, after some time, Bhavananda Prabhu, he was the president at that time, he had a dream and he saw that incident. He saw these dacoits coming and they throwing bombs and things like that. And then all of a sudden he saw this form of Lord Nrsimhadev. He sprang in the middle and he was, and he started to tear all the dacoits. Their stomachs, their throats. He's ferocious, really ferocious. And Bhavananda woke up and he thought, kind of an astonishing dream that perhaps we should get the Nrsimhadev to protect us. So then we got this deity that we have now. He drew a picture. This is the 8 arms. The Stapati, or the person who makes the deity, he identified it. He said this Nrsimhadev is called Sthana Ugra Nrsimha. Sthana means the column, Sthana. Ugra means angry. So this Sthana Nrsimha, he's just burst from the column. This is most angry point. Most angry point. He hasn't killed Hiranyakashipu yet. So his anger is building up. And now he's going to kill Prahlad. If your Lord is not in this column, then I'll kill you also, Prahlad. This was a final straw for Lord Nrsimhadev. Prahlad being tormented again and again and again by Hiranyakashipu, trying to kill him, throwing off mountains, burn him, oil, put him under the elephants, snakes. Again, Lord Nrsimhadev is tolerating. It's like, this is the last straw. He could not tolerate him. So this is the most angry feature. He burst with that, kill him. Wanted to kill. So angry. So the Sapati said, yeah, nobody worships this deity. I'm not going to make the deity like this. He said the last persons who worshipped this deity, Sthana, Ugra, and Shinga, they had gorgeous worship, temples, elephant procession every day. Now that place is ghost town. Nobody lives there anymore. Everybody deserted. Is that what you want for Mayapur? I'm not going to make this. His Guru Maharaj, the Shankaracharya of Kanchipuram, he said, don't make it for his. Later on, he agreed to make it. And because the devotee went so many other places, nobody would make it. So then he got this message. And so he agreed to make it. So the Buddhist Atmatattva Prabhu was taking charge of that. He asked, well, you know, why you want to make it now? He said because in a dream, my Guru Maharaj said I could make it for ISKCON. And when I woke up in the morning, a letter come through the letterbox from my Guru Maharaj said, you can make the deity for ISKCON. He's indicated that because he's coming to Mayapur Dham. This is called Adodhya Dham. Adodhya means very generous. It's a mood of giving. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in this mission, giving, taking. Momahavanaya Krishna Prema Patayati. He's in the mood of giving. And all the Dhambasis and devotees, they descend along with the Lord. They all take on the same mood as the Lord to assist him in his pastimes. So all the devotees, those who were previously Gopas and Gopis, they took their birth as Brahmanas in Vrindavan, they took their birth as Brahmanas in Navadvip to serve the Lord in his feature as Mahaprabhu. So whenever the Lord incarnates, all of his associates come with him and incarnate and help him in his pastime. And they all take on the same mood as him. He says, so this mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just magnanimous and he's one of giving. So Lord Nrsingadev, he'll take on the same mood. So you won't have any problem there. He won't be ferocious, at least for the devotees he won't be. So then he agreed to make it. The deity. Then the deity was ready, and there was a wedding in the house or something like that. So he said, wait till after the weekend and you can take the deity. So then in the middle of the night, the devotee gets a phone call and he said, the shed, which was in Shingadev's, the workshop, has burst into flames. There was some kind of storm or something. He's burning everything down. Please come right now, immediately take your deity away. You're going to burn my house down also. Everything's going up in flames. Deities were unhurt. Deity was unhurt. So then he came to Mayapur on a big lorry full of sand. So they put the deity in the sand so there's no shaking and it's quite safe. But the lorry driver said every checkpoint we went through, usually they want a bit of, give a little bit of bakshish, a little bit of pocket money. So every state we were going through, nobody got on board. This is the Augustana Shinga already. Please go quickly. You don't have to pay anything. Go. So then Lord Nrsingadev arrived. And so they said, who's going to worship? You worship? I said, I'm not worshiping. So they asked all the pujaris, you worship? We've been hearing all these scary stories about Lord Nrsingadev, so everybody was Pangadangri, I'm not worshiping. I'm going to take Lord Nrsingadev back then if you're not going to worship him. So finally Pangadangri was selected, chosen. I don't know if he volunteered, but I guess his will must have been there. So, yeah, 1986. But he was very lively to being Mayapur. So sometimes there are different stories. The Shingadev Chaturdasi. Gopinath Mandir down the Hooligat, Bodhan Maharaj is Bhakti Mayapur is much. And Bodhan Maharaj, he's the present Acharya now. But before he was... anyway, he said he was staying up after midnight in Shinga Dasi chanting, and he said, then Lord Nrsimhadev appeared in his room. Right? He said, it was your Lord Nrsimhadev. He told his Guru Maharaj in the morning, I had this, not a dream, he said, Lord Nrsimhadev appeared in my room, and he had that red dress on that he has. And he told Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, he said, you're very fortunate that Lord Nrsimhadev shown you his mercy, that you should go and do some puja. So he came to the temple and he did puja. Then he told me what had happened, our Lord. So Lord Nrsimha was going for some stroll around Mayapur. One of the first devotees to worship, his name is Baba Siddhi Das, now he's in America. And he was in the long building on the ground floor. There used to be the brahmacharis sleeping on the ground floor. They were bunk beds, one on top of another. And so he woke up in the early morning because the bed was shaking, and he thought it must be the other devotee getting out from the top bunk, and he's shaking, or the bottom bunk. So then he opened his eyes. Lord Nrsimhadev was sitting on the end of his bed. And he was sitting there, he started, he really didn't know what to do. And Lord Nrsimhadev said, it's okay, be peaceful. And he tried to get up, and Lord Nrsimhadev put his nails in he said, it felt like the weight of the whole universe was on my body. And he had marks there for many years. Maybe he still got them, little red marks. It didn't pierce, the nails didn't pierce. He didn't pierce. He's got red marks. Sometimes he pierces. One devotee had a dream. Lord Nrsimhadev came and he pierced with his nails. He says, like a scalpel, it was very, very sharp, what the doctors use for operation. So Lord Nrsimhadev's nails there, even sharper than the scalpel. So they can go in and your heart and come out without even leaving any mark, because they're so sharp. Nail and fingernails he's got. So he put his fingernails in the heart and he brought it out and he said, look, there's this black yucky stuff. He said, you know what this is? This is lust. And there's more also. What shall I do? So Lord Nrsimhadev can remove the lust of the heart. Main obstacle. It is lust and lust alone, O Arjuna, the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. So it takes someone like Lord Nrsimhadev to remove all that, but he can remove it with his fingernails. Yeah, so anyway, Lord Nrsimhadev disappeared from Baba's city, but he jumped up. He still couldn't get it together, and he was running up and down the corridor. And the devotees, what's happening? Couldn't say anything. Then he ran to the temple, Lord Nrsimhadev temple, just before Mangalarati. Paid his obeisances, then he became pacified and he could relate a bit more. So then he went back to his brahmacharya ashram. But he said, I wonder why everyone was staring at me. He said, then I realized I only had my coping on. Shingadev Bhagavan ki jai. There was another Mataji from South America, and she came to see me and she said, I want to offer some mangoes to Lord Nrsingadev. I said, it's the wrong season. This was Gorpunima festival. Mango season's now, summertime. I said, there's no mangoes available now. But if you go to Calcutta, you can get some cold storage mangoes they have. Anyway, I said, why do you want to get mango? She said, well, I had a dream with Lord Nrsingadev, and we were walking through the fields, and he was holding my hand, just walking and talking. And at one point I asked him, how can I serve you? He said, well, I like mangoes. You can get me some mangoes. So anyway, at the end of the festival, Gorpunima festival, that Mataji came with the mangoes. She said, I got mangoes you give to Lord Nrsingadev. I said, oh. Pujari, I said to the Pujaris, this Mataji is so lucky, so fortunate. Lord Nrsingadev, he personally held her hand, he talked to her. And he accepted service from her. She's so lucky, how fortunate. And then she said that, yeah, there was more to the dream. I didn't tell you because I told my Guru Maharaj. And my Guru Maharaj said, you don't say anything. Now I can tell you. She said, Lord Nrsingadev said something to me. He said, my Pujari is very dear to me. I'm going to take him back home, back to Godhead in 1 or 2 days. And Mataji said, oh no, don't do that. We also like our Pujari. So then he said, okay, I'll take one of your leaders away, back to Godhead. And a few days after that, it was on Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance day. Because the GBC meetings were going on, all the leaders were here. His Holiness Gogovinda Maharaj. He was having some Gauranga Katha, Jagannath Leela with Gauranga and Jagannath and separation. He was talking with some devotees. Then he said, I feel a little bit, I take a bit of rest or something. So then he laid down, absorbing Gauranga's and Jagannath's pastimes, and back home, back to Godhead. Ki Jai. Nrsingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. There was another Mataji, I can't remember her name though. Prabhupada disciple. But she was saying, out in the street here, they sell all kinds of different chutneys. Achars and chutneys, means pickles and things like that. And she said, oh, Lord Nrsingadev likes those, I should buy some of those. When she had to look, it looks a bit dirty. I mean, it does look dirty as well. They're not covered or anything like that, and it's not a clean condition, and the kind of black pickles, and yeah. So she was thinking, oh, maybe it's too dirty. I shouldn't get it. And that night, Lord Nrsingadev appeared in the dream and said, where's my mango pickle? I thought you was going to get me some mango pickle. I like mango. So next time she came, she made mangoes and bought for Lord Nrsingadev. Nrsingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. There was another Mataji, what's her name? Shakti. Anyway, she's from, she's wife of Gokulananda, Prabhupada's disciple. Atma Vidya Mataji. So when she was praying to Lord Nrsingadev, I got a problem with my eyes. Ever since I was a small child. If you can somehow or another fix my eyes, then I can be able to serve you much more nicely. So then there was kind of a voice, a dictation from the deity. Said, tell the pujaris to give back my eyes. And just thought, an imagination? Was it just a voice? Again, tell pujaris to give back my eyes. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. What had happened, there was a devotee from South America, and he was into gems and things like that, semi-precious stones. And he had these cat's eyes, stones, translucent, kind of brownish cat's eye, they're called. So he said, can you offer this Lord Nrsimhadev? Can you wear them as eyes? So we tried them on, and they looked really, really sweet, actually. How nice. So we had these eyes on, we kept them on for some time. So anyway, then Lord Nrsimhadev, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to hear this voice. Go up in the pujari room and tell Pujari to give back my eyes. So she came, and I was sitting there, and she told me the story. I said, okay, I'll make some investigation, because we can't act on every dream. So many people have strange dreams. Pujaris have nightmares, pujari nightmares. You go in the deity room, there's no deity there or something, it's strange things. So you can't act on every dream that you dream. Prabhupada said actually if you dream about Krishna or spiritual master, it's real. But it's real in the dream world. It's not necessarily has to be related to this three-dimensional world. But in the dream world, it's real. So we were checking out Mataji. She was quite stable in the, and anyway, we were discussing with the senior devotees, and I was sitting in front of Lord Nrsimhadev, just meditating on Lord Nrsimhadev, and then I got kind of a message. I want my angry eyes back. Why have you given me these big dough-like soft eyes, brown? I want those angry eyes. They got red on it. Why you give me this? Oh, that seems quite logical, doesn't it? To have Lord Nrsimha with dough eyes, it doesn't sound right. So then we discussed, and we thought, yeah, it sounds pretty good. So then we changed the eyes back. Then next morning, she had a daughter when she said, Mummy, you know what happened? The Lord Nrsimhadev, he's got his eyes back again. And his mum said, yeah, you know what happened when I woke up this morning? My eyes also, much improvement, 100% improvement. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. I had some experience which I relate to Lord Nrsimhadev. Anyway, the Sunday Arati was going on. I was sitting by Prabhupada Vyasashan, and then the Sunday Arati was finishing, so then it was time for me to go, but I couldn't go, you know. Usually at this time I have services, so why am I still sitting here? My mind was saying, why am I sitting here? You got your next service. So then the kirtan finished. So then, okay, and then I made the move. I was walking past Lord Nrsimhadev temple. The Nrsimhadev temple, there was a wall there. Before Panchatattva temple was there. So they had that jolly work, with holes. Jolly, with holes. They had that on the walls. And so then I walked past Lord Nrsimhadev, just past there. Then I heard this sound coming. The kirtan had just finished, and I think the Prem Dhwani was going on or something. And then the Arati would have started, the Nrsimhadev Arati would have started up. So it's just a few moments that the kirtan stopped, and they do the, and then suddenly I could walk, and I walked past that place, and I heard this kind of groaning sound. Horrible. oh my God, what's happening? Sounds like it's coming, someone's fell off the roof because that construction wasn't properly finished. The chakra building was being built. There was a roof was there, but there was no railing or anything like that. It was just under construction. And there was a bright light was there in front of it, so you couldn't really see. It was kind of a bit illusory. Anyway, that's what he did. Apparently he was walking there and he fell off. It's quite high. He was kind of beat up. Right? His face was puffed up and everything. But somehow or another, I felt the presence of Lord Nrsingadev. But yeah, if I had been a few seconds earlier or a few seconds later, I wouldn't have heard that sound and the kirtan would have started up and he would have been left. Who knows? I think his name is Mayapur Chandra from New Zealand or something. Anyway, I took it Lord Nrsingadev saved him. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki. Another story I relate to. I was finishing my rounds, it's about 11:30 or 12, something like that. And so then I went up, I was sleeping up above behind Radha Madhava. And I heard this kirtan going on, the mridanga was going, and I thought, sounds like it's coming from the temple. But I was just in the temple, and the new bhakta was there. He had a pair of kartals. There wasn't no mridanga, because Prabhupada said if you have 24-hour kirtan, then you shouldn't have mridanga. Because the boom, boom, boom is not difficult to sleep. So don't have mridanga. So that was a rule, we didn't have mridanga. So I was hearing this mridanga playing. I thought, okay, let me check it. So I went downstairs again and I didn't go in the temple, but the door, but I got to the door and I said, no, it's definitely not in the temple. So I came back up again, laying down in bed. And again, I heard this mridanga and I thought, in Tarampur, this village here, they often have all-night kirtans and it's quite strong sound comes sometimes in. And I'm laying there and I think, it definitely sounds like it's coming from the temple. Oh, but let me go and check again. So I don't think I would have done that gone after a couple of times. Anyway, I went down there and I opened my door, which leads right into the temple. And opposite on that wall was a gateway, an iron gate with a padlock. So I opened my door, and just in front of me, there was some guy there, thief was there. He had a hacksaw blade and he was cutting off the padlocks on the door. And then he was surprised to see me as I was surprised to see him, and he was right there in front of me. He was the other side, of course. And he just dropped everything and he ran like anything. The time I called out for the guards, he was gone. But I could also, at that time, I felt Lord Nrsingadev, some presence of Lord Nrsingadev save the situation. I thought it's pretty unusual. I wouldn't have got out 3 times. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So, here Lord Nrsingadev, although he's the Ugra Nrsinga, he very much likes here this form to, and he likes to be with the devotees of Gauranga. See, generally when you approach the deity, you should ask for something, not material. If you want material, you can also ask material. Don't you? Approach Krishna for everything. But for pure bhakti, we won't ask for anything material. We'll ask for pure bhakti. Or things to remove pure bhakti. Nrsingadev, he removes obstacles. That's his main feature. So Hiranyakashipu was a big obstacle. He was removed. So he likes to remove the obstacles for his devotees, although they're not asking for material obstacles. Because when the devotees ask him to remove obstacles in the path of devotional service, Lord Nrsimhadev, he's saying, well, if I can get some chance to serve the devotees, the Sankirtan devotees. So Lord Nrsimhadev is very pleased, more pleased. In South India, there are many famous Nrsimha temples, and they all go back to Vaikuntha and Nrsimhaloka. But Gauranga, this Nrsimhadev, he likes the Gauranga Bhaktas more. Because by serving the Gauranga Bhaktas, he gets to participate in the Sankirtan movement. Sankirtan ki! So he's become the Sankirtan Bhakta here. So you approach, you can ask for help, Lord Nrsimhadev. It's not Maya to ask Krishna for something. The injunction is when you approach the deity, you should ask for something. because he is God. And he can give you anything, because everything is anyway. But first you pray to the Lord, I'm swimming in this dangerous ocean full of alligators and timingilla fish and making an attempt to enjoy this illusion. That should be our situation. We're in this ocean of dangerous sharks and aquatics. We're being attacked. So then after that, then you offer your prayer to the Lord. You can ask him for something. You better ask for pure devotion to remove obstacles in the path of pure devotion. So Gauranga, he likes that. He likes Gauranga's bhaktas. Okay. Sringadev Bhagavan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Go Premanandi. Thank you. Sringadev Bhagavan ki. Thank you.